Browns trade pitch moves Shedeur Sanders to Contender to back up MVP. The Cleveland Browns have 5 quarterbacks on their roster when Deshaun Watson is healthy. The expectation is for Watson to return sometime during the 2025-26 season, but it remains uncertain if the Browns plan to play him. It'll likely come down to how the team is playing, as the Browns are expected to struggle a bit. However, because they're still paying Watson, it wouldn't be surprising to see them give him another chance to see how he performs after recovering from an Achilles injury at that point. The bigger question for the Browns that all fans want to know is who will be the starting quarterback in Week 1. As of now, it seems very unlikely that Shedeur Sanders will get a chance to start. Because of that, some believe the Browns should look to trade him. When recently looking at potential landing spots, Dog Pound Daily came up with an intriguing one with the Buffalo Bills. Sanders wouldn't have a chance to play much for the Bills unless Josh Allen went down, as he'd be backing up arguably the best quarterback in the NFL. Josh Allen is locked in as the starter, and Mitchell Trubisky is back as the veteran backup. But behind them, there's room for a developmental quarterback. Sanders would be a low-risk, high-upside addition who could sit behind Allen, learn in a structured offense, and grow without pressure. Buffalo's staff could work on refining his timing and decision-making while giving him a stable environment to develop in the background, they wrote. Browns quarterback rumor outlook. Whenever the Cleveland Browns make their quarterback decision, they'll have to be sometime in the near future. Training camp is here for the Browns, and given that there are questions at the position, it likely isn't something the coaching staff and front office want to have lingering for much of the summer. When looking at what could happen, Albert Breer of Sports Illustrated recently reported that Joe Flacco will be in the running, and so will Kenny Pickett. She also added that Dylan Gabriel showed some promising signs and that Sanders was behind the pack early on. To that end, you'll probably be able to see where things stand early on. Flacco will be in the running. Pickett almost certainly will be too. Gabriel showed an ability to process a great feel for the position and looked improved in how fast he was playing early on. Plus add some athletic ability. How often his size shows up in 11 on 11 will be key. And Sanders was behind the pack to start, but worked to catch up and will have to continue earning his rep. He wrote, who will win Cleveland's quarterback battle? Timing will be important for the Cleveland Browns. According to Breer, the expectation for Kevin Stefanski and his staff is to figure things out rather soon. The last thing the Browns want to do is have 4 quarterbacks potentially competing for a job, unless all 4 of them play well. However, that is typically not how things work out, regardless of how they perform. I guess Stefanski and Reese will want to narrow the competition early on, just to get the other guys on offense more work with quarterbacks who are truly in the running to lead the team as it navigates that brutal early schedule. There's also the matter of what type of offense they'll play. Pickett and Gabriel, for example, would have more elements keying on their athleticism than Flacco or Sanders would. That needs to be figured out, he noted. It began with a whisper in NFL front offices, a ripple through the league that quickly became a tidal wave of speculation. The Cleveland Browns, fresh off a thrilling playoff run and anchored by their MVP-winning quarterback Deshaun Watson, were looking for more than just depth. They wanted succession, they wanted security, and more than anything, they wanted electricity. That's when the name surfaced. Shedeur Sanders. The pitch heard around the league. It was supposed to be a quiet off-season meeting, a closed-door session between Browns GM Andrew Berry, head coach Kevin Stefanski, and team scouts. But what began as draft review turned into something far more ambitious. With a late first-round pick, the Browns weren't in range to land a generational quarterback. But they had picks, they had players, and most importantly, they had a vision. Enter Deion Sanders' son Shedeur, a poised, NFL-ready quarterback with a cannon arm, elite processing skills, and an NFL bloodline. Fresh off 2 record-breaking seasons at Colorado under the leadership of Coach Prime, Shedeur wasn't just a prospect, he was a movement. The moment we saw his film from the USC game, it was clear, said one Brown scout. This kid's got NFL DNA, leadership, accuracy, composure. He's not just a starter in the making, he's a future star. So the Browns made their pitch, not to Shedeur, but to the world. To trade the deal was bold. Cleveland packaged 2 second-round picks, a veteran defensive lineman, and future draft flexibility in a blockbuster trade with the New Orleans Saints, who held the no 13 overall pick. Analysts were stunned. Twitter exploded. Cleveland was moving up Not for a lineman or a receiver, but for a quarterback. When they already had an MVP. Critics were quick to question the logic. Why draft Shedeur if Watson is in his prime? Asked one analyst. But inside Berea, the Browns' headquarters, the answer was clear. We're building a dynasty, Berry said in a press conference. You don't build dynasties by reacting, you build them by preparing. Shedeur's arrival on day 2 of rookie minicamp. Shedeur arrived in Cleveland with a chip on his shoulder and a backpack with "Believe" stitched across the top, a nod to his father's mantra. I know what people are thinking, he said, addressing a media scrum. They think I'm here to sit, to learn, to wait, but I'm here to work every single day. Deshaun's the guy. He earned that, but I'm going to make him better, and he's going to make me better. Within weeks, the energy in camp shifted. Shedeur's timing with second-string receivers turned heads. His film study habits impressed even the most veteran coaches, and more importantly, he clicked instantly with Deshaun Watson. He's a student of the game, Watson said. We talk coverages, blitz packages, route progressions, and the kid soaks it all up. He ain't just here for the backup role. He's here to build. Career welcomed Shedeur not as competition, but as legacy. The two began hosting private throwing sessions. They reviewed film together. They even co-hosted a youth football camp in Ohio during summer break, with a surprise guest appearance by Deion Sanders. Shedeur told me from day one, if you're going to be here, we're going to do this right, Shedeur recalled. He didn't have to say that. He's the MVP. But that's the kind of leader he is. For Deion, watching from afar, it was a surreal, full circle moment. To see my baby boy in a pro locker room working alongside greatness, I couldn't ask for more, he said on a podcast. And Cleveland, y'all got a real one. Primed for the future. The Browns' plan is no secret now. The Shedeur Sanders is the future. A future that's not waiting quietly in the wings. Throughout preseason, Shedeur dazzled in limited reps. Pinpoint throws, pocket presence, even a scramble for a 30-yard touchdown that had fans chanting, Shedeur, Shedeur. By week 3 of the preseason, Coach Stefanski was measured in his praise. He's still learning, still growing, he said. But make no mistake, we drafted Shedeur because we believe he can lead a franchise when the time comes. Until then, Shedeur's embracing the grind. He's studying defenses, shadowing Watson in meetings, perfecting mechanics with the QB coach late into the night. There are no ego trips, no headlines needed. I'm not in a rush, Shedeur says, because when the moment comes, and it will come, I'll be ready. Cleveland's gamble, NFL's gain, in a league defined by volatility, quarterback depth isn't just a luxury. It's a necessity. Injuries happen, careers evolve, and as teams like the Packers and Chiefs have shown, developing a backup into a franchise QB isn't just smart, it's championship DNA. The Browns have already tasted success with Watson, but now, with Shedeur Sanders waiting in the wings, they've ensured that the flame stays lit long after the current MVP's prime. People thought it was a luxury pick, said GM Berry, but it's not. It's an investment in the next decade of Cleveland football.